Hey there everyone, how's it going? Shar Mustafiz here, and as you guys know, the last couple videos I've made is dedicated to Battlefield 3. Granted, the game is 10 years old by now, and a lot of the servers aren't as active as it should be, and nevertheless, I've been enjoying this experience, revisiting what is a main step of a game, and one that's fondly looked back upon, and honestly, it's been an enjoyable experience, but granted, since the game's more than 10 years old, I haven't found it in me to really fall in love with and see why people look back at this game with possibly rose tinted glasses. I've actually gotten into a couple debates and a couple conversations, and it, it's definitely that. There's a lot of clunkiness to the game, and that's probably due in part to the game being more not only its age, but also what is essentially was made for hardware that was meant to be run on already underpowered at the time consoles like the PS3 and the Xbox 360. You have servers that are running on 10 to 30 hertz, limited FOV, design choices that don't make sense, such as the blur when you're suppressed, or ballistics being not pretty much your bullet's not hitting where it should be. And that's granted because Battlefield has always prided itself with what is essentially not a hit scan method, but nevertheless, the game is still gorgeous to look at and still shows where the game has gone. But I rather prefer experiences such as Battlefield 4 and the newer subsequent games. But I was brought to my attention earlier last December about amazing modding, dedicated modding community called Venice Unleashed. Venice Unleashed basically takes the core Battlefield 3 experience and basically mods it and gives you dedicated servers, mods that are usually that are user-generated content, such as the Reality Mod that is a spiritual successor to the BF2 ones from the BF2 days, if you guys remember, and as well as 60 Hz and 120 Hz servers. And basically, you can it just includes unprecedented customization. For example, the thing that I mostly found myself complaining about was the lens flare and suppression, and also that terrible colored tint that plagued that generation of console games. You can customize the gameplay to your own experience and to the server, to your own needs, which is really interesting that they did that. Now, I have here is just maybe some gameplay from the trailer that they actually put up. You can see that there's a lot of user-generated content, such as maps like Counter-Strike's map DE Dust 2 had been recreated, a custom bicycle vehicle, modified buggy with neon lights and jet engines, recreation of the classic prop hunt game mode, footage from the reality mode, a spiritual project reality successor to BF3, footage from the in-game cloud map editor, which looks very impressive if I do say so myself, recreation of the classic infinite mode that you've seen in a lot of these newer Call of Duty games and other games, match spectating tools, top-down AI wave shooter game modes, and footage from, of course, more footage from the Reality Mod that the same team is working on. And it's also nighttime maps, which is very much absent from the original Battlefield 3 experience. Now, there's one downside to this game. Well, I can't really say downside. It's just that it came out a month back, and one major problem is that, unlike Battlefield 3, or, well, considering Battlefield 3, like a lot of the maps are very much hidden behind a server password protected mod, or you have to go somewhere across the world and you have a high ping radius, or basically you're playing with what is essentially people who've been playing since day one, and the casual experience is pretty much absent at this point on Battlefield 3 PC. And Battlefield, or Venice Unleashed, which is just the client, is a mod that doesn't really change the base game but lets you modify it to a point, and you don't have to worry about being banned or being modified, because what the game essentially does is it doesn't mess around with the core parameters, but keeps things so you don't have to worry about losing your stats or anything like that. It works in tandem with the original copy of Battlefield 3, and you don't really. And unfortunately, if you are running a cracked copy, which you shouldn't be at this point, the game is only a couple quid or a couple bucks. And a while back, if you had Twitch Prime or Amazon Gaming, you actually got the game for free in December. But if you're missing it, it's also really like priced down low on Steam. Nevertheless, back to what I was saying, the only problem that the game has is that despite having more than 300 servers, a lot of them are empty because I believe I've missed the heyday, the hype of the whole entire mod community, and I'd like to bring more attention towards trying to get people to come back and play the game. Now, all this can be chalked up to one reason, probably being a lot of people who are preferring to play Battlefield 3 rather play vanilla Battlefield 3, because that's the that's what they're used to, and they don't want that experience to be changed so much. Personally, I didn't really enjoy Battlefield 3 because of those same set experiences. I can't look past the bloom, or I can't look past the suppression mechanic that literally feels like Vaseline or grease being smothered across your screen. I know a lot of people don't like that. They rather go for the pure tactical benefit, but also Battlefield 4 does a lot of things better in that sense. And of course, you have other Battlefield titles, but hopefully with the newer Battlefield 6 coming out later this year, we're probably leaning towards another modern combat game, which has been absent from this franchise for a while now. But I wanted to bring more attention to this mod because it'd be fun to actually play with you guys. I've been meaning to create a Discord server, or just kind of like get the community to come back in. I know we're a small community here, but if we can get more people to play around, that'd be awesome. Brings me to my next point. How do you install Venice Unleashed? Well, it's simple as just going in, just typing into Google Venice Unleashed, or you can find a link in the description box below. Click on the first link, navigate over, sign up for the website, and basically put in your chosen username, and then head on over to the home page, download the installer for the client, and you can check out the information on the left here. I'll download it in a bit, and then just basically hit next, install it, and make sure you install it on the same directory as Battlefield 3. There tends to be a glitch with the system, but nevertheless, go ahead and open it up, launch the executable, and as you'll see, it'll open a full-on browser, which is amazing. You're connecting in, it's recognized by origin. And now remember that username you signed up for on the website, make sure you sign in, go ahead and create a new soldier, create a profile for that soldier. So I called mine with my own name, created it, and basically you're in. Now you have a full-on server browser, which is amazing. Of course, it's going to ask you to update, so go ahead and update, and then once you're done updated, it's going to close down, and then you go back in, and you're pretty much good to go. You can check out the new settings that they have. It's amazing. Right now it's currently limited, but it's amazing. You can go for 60 hertz, 120 hertz, but like I said earlier in the video, all the servers and the player counts are pretty much done right now, but you can personally host and find out about hosting and how you can do that just by looking through the community forums, or just by hitting custom forums. But also, one thing I forgot to mention is that this game doesn't really have any issues with Origin, since it doesn't modify any of the base files, which is not illegal technically, and it doesn't. You can always go back and just play vanilla, and it doesn't modify the vanilla game. So if you want to play the vanilla game, you can go back just through Origin and just log in. But one thing I've really found is amazing is that even going through the settings, how comprehensive it is. Because like I was complaining in my last gameplay that I was tired of being locked into a 90 FOV when I play at 112. And it's amazing that you can have all your guns unlocked and everything. You don't have to worry about grinding all over again. It's just basically a playground and a sandbox, which Battlefield is essentially made to play. Now, in this state of mind of the original vanilla game, it's hard to find a server with playing classic maps like Grand Bazaar and Caspian Border, which I'm here flying around. And it's amazing, you know, it didn't take a long time to install. I didn't have to uninstall or do any file modification, which is usually required when it comes to modding, especially games from EA or really complicated DICE games. Nevertheless, I also found it amazing that there's a server browser, everything's all inside the executable. Whereas if you guys know, if you have to play the vanilla Battlefield, you have to go through the web browser client, which is called Battlelog. And I'm not a big fan of that because I use Chrome, and Chrome takes up a good portion of RAM for some reason. But let me know what you think in the description below. I really want to do more videos covering Venice Unleashed, and I'm sure there's going to be more updates to come. You can go support the devs by checking out their Discord server, or just stopping by and saying hello. And I want to hear from you in the comments below. Do you think Venice Unleashed is enough to bring back some life to Battlefield 3? Personally, I think the game looks pretty amazing. It looks like a beautiful game, and I can't wait to check out more of the details that they have and more things planned. In Q1, they have a realism mod coming out, so I'd like to check out that tactical aspect of the video game that Battlefield 3 could explore. It's an amazing engine to begin with, and still for a 10-year-old game, it looks so amazing. But nevertheless, this is Shar here with more Battlefield. If you want to know more about Battlefield content, stick it here. Don't forget that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you haven't done so already. And I'm not really good at signing off, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.